Welcome to episode 14 of Two Dimensional Champions. And this is I, Julian.
And I, Thaddeus, or also known as Thudnator.
Oh, that was so much better than my intro.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
Damn. I'd actually never seen that Mad Max movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was actually from Mad Max, which is funny.
Oh, it is,
because
yeah.
we did a show on Mad Max earlier.
It is, yeah. It's Beyond Thunderdome, and that was the last movie before Fury Road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just bought it on home video, or Blu-ray home video.
You've now sort of introduced that part of my personality where I just pick up on other people's quotes without actually knowing where they come from. So it's like I get all of the credit of like the reference, but like don't actually know what I'm referencing.
I think it's from that. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of, but of course it could have been something else.
I guess neither of us saw it, so who the fuck knows?
Who knows? I mean, because also I haven't watched the movie yet, so maybe that's never said in the movie.
It's true.
But I figure the movie's called Beyond Thunderdome, so I figure there's a portion where they go to Thunderdome.
Yeah.
If everybody who's seen that movie is just like, shut the fuck up.
Right, they're like, God, they say they're fans? They're really just assholes with mics. Fuck.
Well, it's really bad. I hadn't seen any of the Mad Max movies. Somehow I had grown up without seeing any of them.
I think I remember snippets of like, I think when like Spike was first coming out, I'd see like some James Bond, and I think I saw like some snippets of Mad Max, but I really have no.
Yeah, it's funny. Mel Gibson was actually sexy back when he was like 24 or whatever, whenever he did those movies.
He's sexy now.
Well, he's crazy now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like Hana, so really it's just like a natural.
True. It's like, actually, he's way sexier now. Not only is he wrinkly, but he's also fucking crazy.
Exactly. Just the way I
Did you ever see Passion of the Christ? He did that, right?
Yeah.
That was a Mel Gibson.
No, not enough passion for me.
I always was kind of curious about it because I heard it was basically torture porn, but I've never gotten the balls to see it.
Right.
So.
Well, if you introduced it like that,
I wish they had just used that to advertise that back in 2000.
What was that Leonardo DiCaprio scene in the racist thing? It was like first you had my interest, now like you have my attention.
That was Django, right?
Yes.
Oh God, that was good. That was a good movie.
Did you know that he in the scene where he like cut himself and he kept on going, like wasn't scripted?
I heard about that.
It was fucking like he just like brought it into it or whatever. God.
Yeah, he was crazy in that movie.
Yeah.
And Christoph Waltz is great. I love that dude. He's going to be the bad guy in the next James Bond movie, and I'm seeing it because he's the bad guy.
Wait, what? Who did he play in Django?
He was the bounty hunter guy.
God, I can't. I mean, I'm sure I recognize him, but I can't remember.
He was like Django's like best bud in the film. He's the one who saved him at the beginning, who had the carriage, who was pretending to be a dentist.
Yeah, I know the character, but I can't see the face, so I can't recognize the actor in my mind. Yeah,
did you ever see Inglourious Basterds?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was the bad guy in that.
Oh, wow. He got an award for that.
Yeah, well, he's fucking good, man.
I mean, he's all right.
He's okay. He's okay. Yeah, and speaking of Tarantino, are you pumped about the Hateful Eight or whatever? It's his next movie. It's coming out on Christmas, I think.
No, I don't. I didn't even hear about it. So,
Oh, it's supposed to be it's a cowboy movie.
oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, kind of like Django, but I mean, it's Tarantino, so it's going to be, crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, yeah, I just saw a trailer for it a few days ago. I'm pretty pumped. And I think there's what's his name? There's a guy. Oh, well, this isn't a Tarantino podcast, but the guy
talked about nothing and have nothing to do with anime in the first.
I know, yeah. Well, I think the guy who's doing the music is Ennio Morricone, and if I butchered that name, I'm sorry. I'm not actually too familiar with him. I think he did the music for a lot of older cowboy films. I think especially like the old Clint Eastwood films. I think. I could be totally wrong. I might be. But Tarantino's a big fan of him, and he finally got him to do the soundtrack to this movie. So it's like, I don't know, it seems pretty cool. That's like stuff
I thought that like Django was the last Tarantino movie or whatever. That's like what I'd heard.
I thought he was going to do like 9 or something. Yeah. He was only going to do a certain number of movies.
But anyway, talk to me about Gangster. So you saw the next episode,
yeah,
right?
episode 6, Gangster. Yeah, that fight.
It did sort of remind you of the Stranger? Like, did you see it?
So it was kind of split up into 3 sections. The middle section was, that reminded me a lot of Sword of the Stranger.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that they're able to like have that good of a fight scene, in my opinion.
I'm surprised. I was shocked because I just don't think their budget's very big. So that was somebody who fucking loved Gangsta.
right. Or like, the guy who's in Gangsta loves Sort of the Stranger, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, basically. But that was great. That was really fun. Yeah, thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah, no problem. I saw
because I was gonna watch it eventually, but
when you heard there was like Sort of the Stranger, which is a great like we haven't done that, but like that's a great movie.
We should do a Sort of the Stranger.
Yeah, we can totally do that. Like,
I mean that movie is fucking
good. And it deals with like a lot of really interesting sort of social commentary shit, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff like that. Also, the fights are great.
That's true. There's that stuff. And some people get fucked up.
Yeah, I think it's easily the best animated samurai movie ever. Like, easily.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, like, I almost want to say like a Kenshin thing, but I don't really know if like those fight scenes in Kenshin were really as fluid as Sort of the Stranger. But I don't know if that's like technology or.
I think in the OVA they were the flashback.
God, actually, yeah, those OVAs were.
Yeah, that OVA. That's what got my dad into anime. He watched that and he was like, "Oh, this is the shit you're watching."
I get it now.
Yeah. I was watching it and it was that first fight. I think in the first episode of the Kenshin OVA, where he cuts that dude in half, like overhead.
Right.
It's like that ninja guy, and he just happened to like sit down and he was just because I was watching it. He was like, "Oh shit."
And it was that like when it was raining blood and the girl like walked up with like.
Yeah, that scene.
Yeah. That's sort of like that's like one of the scenes that when you like introduce people to anime. If you want to like introduce someone to Naruto, you like always do the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight scene. Like there's certain like clips that you are like, this is like a little time. I'm gonna put this in a time capsule and like people will fucking get it when they watch it, no matter when, no matter how.
Yeah, the go-to scenes. And you know what? That Gaara scene, I remember. I think I watched it because I was watching the fan sub of that back in 2003.
Right.
I remember that when that shit first came out. Not to be like totally like
hipster.
Not to be totally hipster, but I remember when that shit came out. I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I just lost my mind.
Yeah, it was.
That was so good.
It's insanely good.
God, and that show is really. They don't do anything like that
anymore. No, they really don't.
They like burnt themselves out on the first.
They're like 2 exams. It's like everything's awesome, and then here's a filler.
Yeah. We heard you liked filler.
Now that we have your attention.
Yeah.
Let's try to lose it.
Now that everybody's watching it. Yeah, God, that was good. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, Gangsta was great. But I guess what we were watching this week was Ushio and Tora.
Which is a remake of an old classic, right?
Yeah, so it's based on a manga that ran from 1990 to 1996 in Weekly Shonen Sunday. And what's funny is it got an OVA, I think in like 93 or something, that was like 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I sort of remember it when I was a kid, kind of, but I don't think I ever saw it. And it's one of those things where I don't think it ever came out here, just ever.
Oh,
I don't manga came out here or anything. But what's funny is it's really popular in Japan. So there's a lot of, I think the Soul Eater author loved this series.
really?
I don't know that for sure, but I just something about it, especially that there's that scene in the opening of one of the characters that has like a sword that pops out of their arm or something.
Right.
And I was just aside from the obvious, I was like, I really feel like this series influenced a lot of authors that I think everybody now is probably more familiar with.
Right.
But what's fun is the new series is directed by the dude who directed Trigun.
Oh, shit.
Satoshi Nishimura. He's awesome. He did the Trigun movie, too. And apparently the show is also being overseen by the original author of the manga, who apparently I guess is helping with the script because I think it's going to be like 35 episodes or something split across.
God.
Yeah, it's being split across 3 sort of seasons. I think it's going to be 26 episodes straight. Then there's going to be a break and then an additional 13.
Huh.
So if you like the show, that's cool because it looks like it's going to cover all of the manga, which I actually like. They're doing the Parasite Hunter x Hunter take on it, which is they're just doing the whole thing.
Right.
Which
Parasite
I think
is also really fucking good that we haven't covered. It's really, really good.
That's true. So I think it's still going to skip stuff because I think there's 33 books and there's going to be, I think, just as many episodes. So
right.
It's probably not going to be a 1-to-1 adaptation, but definitely the ending is going to be there. So that's kind of interesting. And what's also cool is the animation studio behind it is Mappa, which is a close kind of like little brother studio of Madhouse.
Okay.
Founded by the same person, Masao Maruyama, who's also the head producer on this show and stuff. So that means that this is sort of Madhouse, and a lot of the people working on this show worked on Hunter x Hunter.
I was gonna say, when is the connection to Hunter x Hunter? Because this shit makes me think Hunter x Hunter. Well, specifically like the hair part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, the animation really just like kind of reminds me of Hunter x Hunter. So I was like, where is that connection?
Yeah, and what I think is really cool is Madhouse, Hunter x Hunter, Parasite, Ushio and Tora. I don't know what's causing this revival of older franchises of like doing complete animes that cover the whole story. But I like this.
maybe it's the same reason that Sony's redid Final Fantasy X HD and Final Fantasy X2 HD and are redoing Final Fantasy VII. It's like we've made too many floppy animes, so let's just rehash the old stuff and then try to figure it out from there.
Yeah, let's just go back because a lot of those older shows never, like for example Ushio and Tora, I never watched the original OVA, but it was only 10 episodes. It only covered like a little sliver of it.
Right.
And the old Hunter x Hunter anime just stopped, and we got some shitty OVAs, but it never did the last arc. There's all these.
Last arc, right? There's another arc, or is it like pretty much?
Togashi came back and did I think 1 or 2 books, and then took another break. So
and he's on that break.
Yeah, he's on that break.
Okay, apparently. All right.
So yeah, there stuff has happened that isn't animated in the TV show, but as there's so little of it that really they've covered all.
So he's a huge fan of Berserk. And he's just following that author's writing style.
Yeah, basically.
Like,
well,
here's a sample, and later.
Later, Togashi is. He apparently has back issues, so he has like chronic back pain. So I think I heard that he was drawing stuff on his stomach, and just drawing pages like on a board in front of him. And apparently that's why he takes so many breaks, is because he's
has
back
really
pain. Now,
shitty like body mechanics when he's writing.
On the other
That's
hand, the
gotta
joke,
suck.
yeah, the other joke that goes around is that he's a huge fan of Dragon Quest, so apparently that's why there's all these hiatuses.
Nice.
But yeah, what was funny though is Jump was letting him submit chapters that weren't finished. So it was funny, if you were reading Weekly Jump during some parts of the Ant arc, you were getting chapters that were just sketches.
Wow.
Which,
they're like, fuck it, just give us anything. He was like, all right.
I mean, that just shows how much he was selling, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do a sketch. Sure. As long as we can say it's running. But at least the Berserk guy, Mura, he's finally moved to a monthly schedule.
Right.
Which I feel like is... because Berserk's back. There's a new chapter this month. There was one last month. And so it seems like for the moment he's sticking to this monthly. And I wish the Hunter x Hunter dude would do something like that. Because he's still fucking in Weekly Jump. And it's like, if he has, physical problems, right, move to another magazine. Because there's Jump Square that has Blood Blockade Battlefront. The Kenshin author moved to that magazine. Blue Exorcist is in there.
Okay.
Just do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know these guys, so,
I think there was a period, and I could be completely wrong, where it was like you must pump out as much content as quickly as you can. But I also think that there's starting to be a transition where if it's just like a really high quality sort of thing, then like monthly is still really strong. I'm not sure if that's actually accurate at all. But like Vinland Saga, for instance, it's like fucking amazing. And yeah, and it's monthly.
Yeah, and I think anime needs to learn from that too, because anime is still on the old Osamu Tezuka schedule, which is just pump out as much possible every week.
Is that Naruto?
Yeah, that's
Osamu. Yeah, because then put in fillers if you need to or whatever. Like.
Yeah, so like Tezuka, he's the author of Astro Boy and stuff, and he developed, and I think I'm correct about this. He developed the format of how to get a weekly animated show every week, like without a break or anything like that. And so he created a format for doing that, and it worked. But basically, that hasn't changed since the 60s. So the animators are still really underpaid. They just work at like a breakneck pace, which is why, I don't know if you heard, but this past week's Dragon Ball Super had like super shitty animation. Super shitty animation.
Oh, wow.
And it was terrible. And so everybody online was like bitching about, I hope they fired those motherfuckers that were working on this episode. And what was interesting is the staff for the episode was really good. They had great animators, like old veteran animators on it too.
Right. And
basically they just had no time. So they had like 2 weeks to do that whole episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, dog.
Yeah, so it wasn't like they hired shitty people. It was just that these shows are made... I mean, if they're not really, really well managed by the producer, they just go to shit really quick. That happened to Attack on Titan. When they posted the announcement trailer for the anime, I think it was December 2012, the studio that was animating it hadn't, like, the actual building that they were in hadn't been constructed yet.
Oh.
So when the show aired in April, like, it was brand fucking new. And towards the end of the series, they were, like, broadcasting episodes that weren't even fully colored in. There's a couple of scenes toward the end where, like, I think Eren was fighting the Lady Titan, and there were buildings blowing up, and the debris wasn't. It was like green blocks because they hadn't colored everything.
Wow.
So it's not like they had poor staff.
Right.
It was just that's how.
I think so. Long story short, there's a lot of politics in this shit.
A lot of politics, yeah. And I think manga, especially with like Mira and Togashi, who have like really earned their keep, I think there's a little more flexibility. But
any other talking points before we crack into?
No, I don't think so. I think I blabbed long enough about.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I think, do we have no idea what we're doing next? I don't think we have, unless you have an idea.
Yeah, well, so there's there was a request for an older show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For what was it called? Yeah. Let me. Yeah. There's.
The awkward silence is real.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure that out. Because also the Frieza movie is out. So we'll have to see if it's playing near you.
Okay, so we're not exactly sure what we're doing next week. We'll figure it out.
Nope.
And sort of, do you want to do like a general non-spoilery before popping into this, like first impressions?
Sure. Yeah. Like what we thought about it, real quick.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about it?
I really liked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
I really didn't.
Well, what was funny is while I was watching it, I had the distinct feeling that you were really not going to like it.
Yes.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was it's very well made, and it's all retro. So I mean, the story is not. I think there's been. I mean, I was looking at it in the sense of that this, I feel like, set the standard, for a lot of stuff like Inuyasha and stuff like that after it. I was trying to look at it like that. But also, frankly, I like weird monsters. I like the character designs. And I'm a sucker for just creatures. So I was hooked by the opening, basically. I was like, okay, I'm down.
For me, it was like... It sort of reminded me of like similar. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it was quite like Dragon Ball. It definitely felt like it was a really, really, really generic coming of age story meant for a younger audience, and nothing interesting is going to happen. It's sort of like when I saw the intro, I was like, oh, some of these characters look like they might be really interesting, and then by episode 5, I was like, maybe not at all. And then I have different sort of like, I guess, nitpicky gripes throughout the series that we'll get into, but I don't want to do any spoilers. So I mean, for what it is, like the animation quality is good. I think like the voice actors are good. I think that the music is goofy, which take that as you will. And it's sort of like seems like a real standard story. And if that's what you like, then check it out.
Yeah, it's a really, really well done old school style anime.
Yeah.
But if you liked Inuyasha or something like that,
never really got to Inuyasha, so I don't. But
no, same here. I mean, or if you just like those kind of early '90s shonen series, this is for you.
Okay. Nice. And with that, let's get into the show.
Spoilers. So
now we're just like talking about shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet and would like to, if you like weird monsters and stuff like that, stop listening. But if you don't care, or you've already seen it, and just go ahead.
Yes.
I mean, I can't stop you from listening at this point.
Right. Now you just do what you want. You could be like, you're gonna give me spoilers, and I'm gonna complain about it. You do you, my friend. You do you.
Whatever feels right.
Exactly.
Whatever feels right. So tell me what you thought about this first episode.
So the first episode, it was like, I mean, it sort of made me feel like the relationship with the grandfather is sort of like the relationship of Ichigo and is that his name, right? Ichigo and his like father. That sort of like fight, but really he's fighting in order to train him, and like he sort of knows about the demons, and is like mysteriously goes away and talks about the spear that the guy ends up finding, and like all this other stuff. Like later, the grandfather comes back and is like, "Just retreat, don't go down in the basement." And it's like, "Oh, okay, you fucker." But that was sort of the impression I got in the first snippet. So it is like makes me think of a lot of other animes, like little clippets of that.
Yeah, which is interesting is thinking about it again, is like if you look at it as like one of these shows that a lot of these authors grew up on, like do you think this show set the standard for that? Or
I mean, it's possible. I don't really know the timeline of it all, and I haven't necessarily seen like enough of it. But like there do seem to be a lot of similarities. And also like the story is so like here's this good guy, but then like he needs the help from this like bad guy, but maybe the bad guy's not that bad, and like maybe they just don't understand each other or come from different worlds, or it's like that's just sort of the thing that happens.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point with the comparison between I think it's his dad. Actually, I think he just looks super old.
Is his dad? Maybe.
I think so. Yeah, but also with Ichigo's dad, which is the only other. I hadn't thought about that before, but that's exactly it, because they both they just went at each other, and that was part of like the funniness with how Ichigo would beat up his dad, and his dad was actually a Soul Eater. Spoiler for people.
Right. You thought the spoilers only were limited to time. Spoilers here.
Actually, that might show my age, though, because is that even considered a spoiler anymore? Because I remember when it was, but
yeah, I don't know.
It's so long ago now that I don't know if.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and I actually liked the two girls that he's friends with.
Oh, really? I almost liked them.
Well, I mean, it was really obvious. It was obvious that the one who was giving him all that shit,
Oh my god, they really like him. The other one's like, oh, well, if you don't really like him, then maybe I'll go for him.
Yeah,
There's a later scene, the guy's like, why are you so friendly with the two hottest girls in the school? Oh my god, you're the hero of the story. Like,
yeah.
Sorry, I can't help but bitch about this anime. Like, I understand there's people that really like it, and then this is like they're like, when I watch anime, I want like the happy-go-lucky. I don't want to think about the, like hardships. Like, there's people I know that like won't watch Game of Thrones because they're like, that shit is too fucking stressful. When I'm home from work, I want to watch like whatever that doctor anime is, or not anime, that doctor show that all the girls. Like Grey's Anatomy or something like that,
Grey's Anatomy is actually really stressful. They're always killing people.
I guess that's right. I don't know. Beavis and Butthead. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I wasn't defending it. I was just saying, like, whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, geez, people enjoy this? Like, this is horrible.
I don't know.
But, yeah, so basically, really for me, the standout scene in this first episode was when he goes full gone.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. My favorite part of this whole anime is whenever he gets long hair, because it makes me think of another anime.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, sweet, gone. That was awesome.
Right. It's like, now you're going to fucking beat the shit out of that crazy cat girl.
Yeah.
Another spoiler alert.
Yeah, Pito. Oh, God, that was harsh, man. That was really harsh. So, yeah, I can't get distracted. Yeah, I mean, it's really solidly done, but you bring up a really good point, which is at this point, I know that I'm going to give the show the benefit of the doubt, that it's super influential. That is just huge.
Right.
Like Dragon Ball huge. But the problem with that is, well, at this point, a lot of, like us, we weren't really familiar with it. And we've seen all of the shows that were influenced by it. So at this point,
would take an aspect and then spin and create something.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit of Bleach, a little bit of Inuyasha, a little bit Soul Eater. It just there's all this stuff, that it makes me think about. So that's tough because, if this was a new show, I'd be like, okay. I'm like, all right, what?
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen this before. But I like Tora. I like. I think he's.
Does Tora make like? Let me know if this makes sense. Does he sort of seem like a Loki character to you?
Oh yeah, very much.
Yeah, like that. That's sort of like my feeling. Is like not really bad, but kind of a trickster, always trying to instigate. But like, yeah, it just like makes me think of like like not necessarily Loki from like Thor Loki or what, like from those movies, but like that.
Well, just the idea of Loki. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, Tora actually is what makes me want to watch the rest of the series, because he's by far the most interesting character, I think.
Yeah,
because of that. He's very neutral, but he seems sensible in a weird way. Most of the other demons we see in the show are just, they just want to eat, or they just want to do something. They're just hyper focused on this one goal.
Well, he just wants to eat too, but instead he like ends up killing all the demons because they're trying to eat, and he doesn't want them to eat his food.
But I feel like he's a little more introspective from being nailed to a wall for 500 years.
Yeah.
Or is that just wrong because we're getting to hear his thoughts and we don't really get that with any of the other monsters?
Yeah, and the other monsters, you know, like his name is Tora. The other one is like Stone Rock Eater or Stone Demon or whatever the fuck. So, you know, maybe if that was like, maybe if the Rock Eater's name was, I don't know, Bubba, I'd be like, oh, Bubba's got feelings too. Yeah. It's like I can't think of like a good dumb like Japanese name. So like,
so basically, you're telling me that the only reason I like this character is because he's got a name that I can relate to.
Sort of like Cecil.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So if the rock armor dude in episode 2, which takes us to episode 2, I guess.
Wait, what was that? No, I've got a big gripe. In fact, like this was when I when I rolled my eyes, and the only thing that was like getting me excited was the beginning. Was like when they had that first like, oh, I'm gonna eat you, and then like Ushio or Atsuke, depending on whoever's talking, is like you know, whatever, like we're gonna fight, or you know, like no, you won't. And then, but like the music when the guy's like, I'm gonna eat you, and he does like this real evil face. It's like, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, yeah, you know, like it's the most like, but not really, you know, like it's breaks the. There's no like Tora might actually. You never think it's like this guy's actually gonna try to mess up this. There isn't like an actual conflict. It's so much of a like, and that's funny, right, kids? Like sort of thing. And like when as soon as that was like they didn't even like try to take that exchange seriously at all. And I was like, oh god, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's such a predisposed thought of like, yeah, but all of you out there watching know that that's never going to happen.
Right.
So we're not even going to pretend that this is dramatic.
Like in Gangsta, I forgot the name of the characters, but the two main guys is like you later find out, spoilers for everything, that the what's the deaf guy's name again? Do you remember?
No, Nicholas.
Nicholas, yeah, the Nicholas was basically like the slave or assigned bodyguard or whatever to Warwick. And so there's like this feeling of it's like Warwick is like, you're my friend, right? And the guy's like, well, is he really your friend, or do you just own like the contract for him, you know? And you can tell, and you don't even really know. Like Nicholas, you know, they do sort of seem like friends, but he also seems like a guy that doesn't really give a fuck, that also will just fill in like his contract, you know? Like there is that.
Yeah, I mean, even Alex, who he seems like he kind of gives a fuck about. It's hard.
He doesn't really like. Yeah, it's like he doesn't give a fuck. Actually, he act like, you know, like shit. Could he's almost like the dark version of Tora or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
Like he could just randomly snap because he's like, you know, constantly like in pain, taking drugs, really aggressive, really violent, like whatever. Like he's actually like a fucking demon. Whereas like Tora just perches on the guy's head and is obnoxious all day.
Yeah, and Nicholas too. You don't know if he like actually digs these people or if it's just more interesting right now to have them around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just okay. Well, if I've got to do this anyway, then I might as well collect some things around me that are keep me interested or something like that.
But anyway,
yeah.
And now we can go back to episode 2 if you want. But.
Yeah, Tora doesn't fool anybody. I mean, it's just like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's sort of, this is the part that really reminded me of Inuyasha, where Kagome and Inuyasha, like, she's always telling him to, like, sit, and he's, like, trying to attack people, or I forget exactly what it is, but they've got that same relationship where it's like, we're going to be kind of antagonistic to each other, but really we love each other. Right. You know, it's like, really, and you know, like, with Inuyasha and Kagome, I mean, even when I was watching it when I was a kid, there was never any. I was like, oh, they're ending up together. Okay.
Right. Oh, cool. They're just flirting. No.
Yeah, it's like no, there's no drama there. They're always gonna end up together.
Right.
It's not like Inuyasha's gonna end up with like the ninja chick. It's like that's not gonna happen. So yeah, so Tora, you know that they're gonna end up working together. I mean, the opening just spells it out, spells the whole show out for you. It's like okay, they're gonna end up fighting a lot of shit.
But the
together.
trailer seems like there might be some interesting sort of dark shit going on. So, or not the trailer, but like the opening, the intro thing.
Yeah, and the opening makes me wonder if, like, let's say the second half of this series is going to be really interesting, where it's just doing one of these things where, okay, it's
Like
really
sort of like Full Metal took a while to like really step it up, and when it stepped it up hard, in my opinion.
yeah. So taking if this anime or this manga is as influential as it is, maybe it's influential in that respect, where it's like
yeah.
it's got a very light, very easy to tell where it's going direction, and then the finale is just bug nuts.
But like right now on my list, it's not on my list of things that I want to keep up with. Like it's just, we can get back into that more later. But yeah.
Well, but really, why would it be? You know what I mean? It's all stuff you've seen before on other shows. Yeah. So it's like, where does this show set itself apart from everything else I've watched? It's like, okay, it's got weird creatures. The girls aren't going to be eaten.
Well, I've got it. Let's go into episode 2 before we start talking more about the girls, because I got some stuff that later that I want to sort of get into. But so this was the Rock Eater Samurai thing,
yeah,
right? So what were your highlights on this episode, rather?
I really liked, and this was brought up in the first episode too, but I like how Ushio really wants to draw, even though they say, like, they show some of his paintings and stuff. It's like, your shit's so weird, man. But I really like how, okay, yeah, he's good at sports and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool that drawing is his thing,
right?
And I really like that, especially, I think it's in the third episode with the painter.
Yeah, that he is geeking out on his, like, favorite artists and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that was something that really, I feel like it sets this guy, Ushio, really sets himself apart from someone like Ichigo.
Right.
Who, like, Ichigo just didn't do shit. I mean, if he wasn't a Shinigami, when they said that he was just a normal high school student, he was a fucking normal high school student. This guy didn't do jack shit other than study,
Right.
He was just there. Whereas I feel like, I don't know, Ushio, it's kind of cool that he's into something for as great at sports as he is, and I liked it when the basketball guys were like,
please help us, please.
Yeah, and I like how, yeah, he's a meathead, sort of.
But he's still trying to follow his passion, and his passion isn't the sports, which is necessarily the thing that he was good at, rather.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of makes his character a little more interesting, other than, like, because the spear already makes him super good at fighting. And he's already super athletic.
Right.
So if he was just super strong, he would just be Goku. He's just dumb and strong. Whereas this guy is like, okay, he may not be grade smart, but he likes art. That's kind of a cool. I don't know. I feel like something like that, it makes sense why the girls like him, because he's like badass, good at sports, but he also has like a sensitive artistic side. You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it makes him a more interesting character.
Yeah.
That could just be me projecting, like, I fucking do a webcomic. So, like, maybe that's just me being like, yeah, comics rock. You do that, Ushio. That's awesome.
No, I mean, I think that, like, I actually made that note as well. Like, I remember when we were talking during Food Wars, how I thought it was interesting good that they're promoting, like, skills other than, like, the sort of sport, whatever, like the standard things that you would think of that you do at high school. You don't think of cooking, you don't think of art, and I think that it's cool that was like a plot point, but I don't think it was necessarily inspirational, because it was like, but he was also really good at sports anyway. He just didn't play on the team, but he was really good at sports. He's interested in art, and he was shitty at that art. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But and his main thing is fighting, is what it comes down to. So it's sort of, but I do think that it's neat that I feel like they're not trying to push, like, almost like advertise being on the soccer team in order to get girls, or whatever. Which for some reason I guess that's like I feel like we do that like with football, and stuff like in like the high school shows. I don't know. I haven't really watched a lot of American television.
Well, yeah, I feel like that is like a fair stereotype that's put out there. Is basically it doesn't really matter what else you do, as long as you do these things.
Right.
And then if you do that, you're awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's a fair assumption. Otherwise, the only other big thing in the episode, I mean, I like the monsters and I like the this is. And there really wasn't anything super standout, except I did enjoy Tora's reaction to watching television. I thought that was kind of cute. He broke the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of it, he's like really excited. But it wasn't.
Was that at the end of this episode when he saw himself on the television or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and that was okay. Well, here's some. No. At the end of this episode is when they were recorded. Yeah. So I think it was the next episode where.
Oh, maybe it's not.
Yeah, because they got recorded after when they jumped out from the stone place. But,
right, okay, yeah.
So Asuka, right? She's confronting these demons. She's being turned to stone. She's completely fearless, right? When she gets turned to stone. Oh my god, like the potential for a badass like assistant character, and nothing fucking happens. The stone breaks. It's like there's like one scene where it's like, oh, I'm naked with this girl, but then instantly they have clothes. And like that was it. And that's sort of like one of my gripes is it's like here's this character, but I mean, and it's sort of funny that I have like a feminism hat after prison school and.
Well, that just shows you how deeply prison school affected you.
I don't understand. I don't know what you mean. Oh, I actually read all of the manga, by the way, after we saw Prison School. So, yeah, it's cool. I'll be back on point real quick. But with Prison School, I really like the anime a lot better than the manga. Just because of the comedic timings.
Yeah, I gotta say the same thing. I picked up the first book of the manga and was instantly disappointed.
Right, like there are some times when I like chuckle where there's like haha, but like when I'm watching the anime, there's just like bah, it's like it's the one where you don't where it's just really well executed and it doesn't have the same effect in the manga.
Well, it's funny. Even the scene in the first episode where he's looking at the phone but looking behind him and his eyes bugging out. I was really looking forward to seeing that in the manga. The anime was way better.
Yeah, and then like the slowly unzipping and then the quickness of everyone freaking out. Like it can show like a panel of unzipping and a panel of freaking out, and it's not the same of comedic value. But anyway,
and it shows you how good the voice acting is too, because like especially the scene where what's her face slips and her heel goes into the dude's butt. Mm-hmm. So much better in the anime because like just. The sounds, like just the sounds were just way better. Yeah, I agree. It was funny. I was going to be like, do you want my book? Because I didn't really want it. So.
You're right. Yeah.
Do you want it?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
On the plus side, though, which is why I'm accepting this book, there are a lot of tits.
That's true.
Copious amounts of tits.
No censorship.
And a lot of Medusa references. But yeah, that might be later on. But it's glorious. Do you remember? Did you see anything about the Medusa?
No, I didn't get to that point.
So, the first... he refers to a woman's nether regions as the Medusa because it turns him to stone. Or whatever, It's like I can't because your Medusa has turned into stone. I'm like, that's like I haven't heard that. I don't know if that's like a common Japanese thing, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
And then there's another part when he was like, I want to kiss your Medusa. And I was like, I've got to remember that. And it showed like a Medusa face. And it was, so I mean, there are definitely some good parts in the manga, but nowhere near as freaking as the anime. Now, back to Tora.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. So like as I was saying with the chicks is that that they don't seem to have a purpose other than hanging on this guy's arms. No. So far, and that there's 2 episodes where they really have a chance. Like this is the episode for Asako, and then Mayuko in I think episode 4 it was, and just fucking nothing happened, and really like it was really disappointing to me. But
What's the black-haired girl's name?
Asako.
Asako. So I liked it when I think it was episode 4, no 5.
But I guess well, I mean they go by Nakamura and Inoue is.
Oh, okay.
So, but Asuka's the family name. Is that? I'm so confused when you see it, but.
Yeah, because I was thinking I did like the scene with the short black-haired girl, short-haired black-haired girl. I don't know how tall they are. Where he's kind of depressed after selling out Tora to the exorcist.
Yeah, in episode 5.
Yeah, and she kind of corners him, and she's like, just punch me in the face, and like I'll punch you. You know what I mean? It was like very. I actually like that. I can't really explain why. I thought it was kind of cool that it wasn't just like tell me your feelings, but like. Let's beat the shit out of each other until we feel better, basically.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, that was a cool scene, and I thought it was. But she doesn't. But like at that point, it's like she doesn't seem like a powerful enough character.
Well, no, she just runs away. And at episode 2, it's like you're right. It's totally a lost moment.
Well, it's cool because she like stands her ground. It's like I want to see your fear, and she's like has that defiant look. Like it's not fear, but it's like resilience as she turns to stone, but there's no like there's no next level, there's no commentary, there's no like wow, this woman's fearless or something like that, even in such a dire situation. And then like when the stone breaks, it's like, and their clothes are gone. It was just for a split second, but it's still like I was like, either give me tits or don't give me tits. This is fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, actually, thinking about it too, the other thing that disappointed me with this episode is when you first see the eye of the stone samurai, it looks like a lot of little creatures.
Right.
And I thought it was like a horde of something, but then when it turned out just to be like a double-headed centipede.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on the freaking inconsistencies. Oh, and what is it? So it's not even like hit him with a spear, but it's like, but he's weak against human saliva, so you spit on the spear, stab him in the left eye, and stab him in the other left eye, and it's like,
yeah, which is oddly specific when they didn't have to do that any other time.
Right, and it's like, and also he's supposed to have this like ultimate weapon. So I mean, like that would make sense if it was like. So you have this like weapon that's specifically designed for demon slaying, and you have to spit on it. And
yeah, you just have to spit on it each time.
Like that would make sense if it was like a weapon that's not specifically designed. It's sort of like you have to hit this trigger, and it's like, well, what if I just shoot it with the bazooka and blow up the entire building instead of hitting that one trigger? It's like, well, I guess that would work too. You'd think that the spear would be like the bazooka. And that like a samurai sword would be like the, you have to do this crazy exorcism ritual-esque thing, but.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean, it is, yeah. I mean, the other thing I can't defend it. The other thing I enjoy too is I do like some of the facial expressions.
The animation's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
that's
true. I mean, my major, I think that the animation quality is just like really good. I don't really like the soundtrack because it's kind of goofy, but like that also is what the anime is pitching. So if you like that sort of thing, then that's perfect.
Yeah. And so story-wise, what was your favorite episode?
Story-wise, let's see.
Because I was that was going to be my lead-in to episode 3. Was like episode 2 is pretty forgettable for me,
right? But
I enjoyed 3. I thought that was probably.
I mean, like they had I would say but all 3, 4, and 5. I mean, well, 5 was I hope this is the really good one, and then it really wasn't. So I would say that's the most disappointing in the story sense.
I feel like 5 felt the most 90s anime to me, which was this guy who comes from another land, who finds out about what's going on, fights him, because he's going to be a good guy, but still fights,
Right.
and was like obviously a badass at fighting, and then was like, yeah, I'll be around, but then in his mind is like, yeah, I'll stick around because this is apparently the happening place.
Right.
That episode felt the most 90s to me because I was like, oh, I feel like I've seen this in Kenshin repeatedly. Like this is just like one of those things you just pull out of the hat.
Right.
Every once in a while, it's like, oh, yep.
I would probably put 3 and 4 at about the same.
Yeah. I enjoyed 4 quite a bit too.
But so episode 3, the demon in the painting.
Yeah, and I didn't think, I don't know, I was sort of like, oh, whatever. When I started the episode, I enjoyed he liked art and stuff. But I gotta say, I really liked how they showed the girl's dad like looking, like painting, and then turning into a demon.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I thought the story was actually kind of interesting. It wasn't just like dude does shitty thing. It was like, oh, actually the guy kind of went through some, he just couldn't handle his wife like cheating on him and stuff like that.
He kind of had a creepy obsession with his daughter.
Yeah, which was like pretty creepy. And then, I thought actually it was like the creepiest episode.
I feel like there's a lot of like almost really dark and interesting, but not quite dark and interesting happening.
Yeah, it never really goes there because of course we get a happy ending still.
Right. But like, I feel like he is sort of trying to like rape his kid.
Basically.
Like this certain, and like in the fourth, like people get their heads fucking shut. Like there's a lot of people that get like kind of brutally murdered.
Oh yeah, 4 we're starting to get into Hunter x Hunter territory.
Right. Where it's just like, wow, they just really fucking died just then.
Yeah, like super died.
Yeah.
And I thought this one was interesting because, the daughter was being turned into like the replacement wife by this guy. And you just got some really creepy family shit.
Yeah.
Which
did you sort of feel like it was Chad from Bleach? Do you remember the introduction of Chad, where it was like everything around him? There would be like a like there was a demon that was following him, and
holy shit, I forgot about that.
And he was like always getting beat up, trying to like protect this and protect that and stuff like that. Like anyone who got close to him died, and it was really just this. Yeah, it makes me. I think it might actually be like a Japanese sort of myth fairy tale thing of like a demon that does that. Like I'm pretty sure that's.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, I was gonna say, that's where Bleach got that, like right there, like that's.
Yeah, it's super similar, super similar.
Yeah. I mean, because I think Ushio is very Ichigo in this episode too,
right?
Because especially when he takes that punch to the head, and just like stands there, and it's just like, yeah. So what that you punched me in the head, and of course they end up being friends,
Right.
Which I was actually surprised that this guy didn't show up in the next 2 episodes.
Oh, because he's a complete like one shot, whatever, never comes back.
Yeah, which then I was like, why didn't you just kill the dude and like the chick make like a dark ending, or whatever, they're together finally, but I don't know, whatever. I mean,
right.
It is what it is, but yeah, I mean, I thought it got pretty creepy this episode. I liked a lot of the animation. Again, I like the animation.
Yeah, the animation's great. Yeah, for sure. 10 out of 10.
But,
or 9 out of 10.
But I guess that takes us... Yeah, and I also like how, even when it became happy at the end, how fucking creepy was that painting of his daughter? Like
the one with the flower, or the one like after it was changed?
Like both.
Yeah, they're both really creepy. But no, we're not done yet, actually, because there's some more things that piss me off about this episode.
Oh,
okay, so do you remember like when the sphere was stuck in the wall? But then he was like upside or upstairs and something was happening. So he summoned a spear, right? And then the spear went through the outside wall into the building, right?
Yeah.
And then it went to his panel and went from out the window into his hand.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what? Come on, man. You could have just had it going out and then flying up. Or you could have had it going out of the ground. It's like, are you even paying attention to what you're trying to draw? Like...
Yeah, I feel like the spear's powers are really uneven. Like, very uneven.
Is this a joke? Or...
No, no, no,
Like
no. I
so
mean,
uneven that like when it goes inside a building, it actually is flying from the outside of the building inside the
yeah.
building from another direction. Maybe there's two spears, and the other spear is just the evil double, and there actually is like some serious plot point that we'll find out in episode 7.
And
Where
16 episodes later, it's like actually that was the evil. That was the moment where
and
the
you should
spears
have
were
picked
traded.
up on how the spears traded places.
Yeah, sorry. Let me tell you my whole thought process with that, which was you were explaining that. I was like, oh yeah, that is really stupid. And then I was thinking, in general, I feel like the spear's power is not very well defined.
Right.
It's like sometimes it moves on its own, sometimes it flies through shit to get to you. Sometimes it, you know what I mean. It seems like a very convenient spear.
Exactly.
Or like when they saved the girl when they threw the spear, and she like it hit her back.
No,
She balanced her, right?
She tried to block the spear from hitting her dad and killing.
Oh no! But before that, when she jumped out of the window of the house, and he throws the spear to like.
To catch her.
It's like it feels like this very easy weapon,
right?
You know?
And also, it's sort of makes me think like a lightsaber, like with Luke. It's like summon my lightsaber. But yeah, and like in that instance, it's like so the spear doesn't, like phase through her when it's trying to catch her, but when he throws it to like the blade, then will. But what if he throws it really hard and then the stick would like?
Yeah. What if it doesn't phase out soon enough?
Right. Like so, then with like the stick, does she just get like it knocked in the stomach from the stick, but the blade goes, like. There's a lot of and I feel like it's like there's a fucking anime, man. There's no science here, but like god damn it, at least try to make your shit make sense.
Well, at least have it internally consistent.
Yeah,
I mean, even if it's not real world physics. And I actually thought it would have been more interesting if she had died there. When she got.
Oh yeah, that was another like and I don't mean to be like an asshole, but it's like it's not they're not taking it quite that far, No. The girl might do something interesting. They're not quite taking it that far. They might show like a booby shot. They're not taking it quite that far,
Yeah, because again you have the sense
it's Ushio and Tora, just the tip. Figured it out.
That's so dirty. It sounds so dirty, but yeah, it's true. Just the tip.
Yeah.
But that's what this show does. It shows you just the tip.
Exactly.
But nothing more. It's just and I feel like picking up on what you said just a couple seconds ago, I find it really is interesting that whenever the girls are about to do something cool, or interesting, it's like taken away.
They don't.
Them.
Yeah. Which I think. I mean, are you ready for the next one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
So let me look and see if there's anything else I want to do. Weird daughter competition.
I got to say, 4 had by far my favorite animation of all 5.
I like the eating people.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way they did the heads, and I really enjoyed especially when Tora was electrocuting them. That was really cool. I just liked all that.
Yeah, Tora fucked up some heads.
Yeah, and this was the first time where I was like in the show, I was like, yeah, badass, really cool.
Right. I really liked that all of the heads had the hole from where the rock had punctured.
Yeah.
And pinned the head down. So just flying around with constant bleeding holes in their head.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. Yeah, I really like that. And I also like you said before, people get fucked up in this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, but did you notice that the heads are just chomping around people not giving a fuck, but when the big bad scary demon goes to see people's like, hair smells and is that perfume? Oh man. And then jewelry, that's gonna give me indigestion. And it's like, someone I can eat just happens to be the other person that the demons are trying to eat, and then he's like, you're trying to eat my food, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then he does something good. Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, it's not exactly
But the other demons are able to, the other like minor demons or whatever, are able to eat shit no problem.
Well, I feel like they're working really hard to make sure Tora's a good guy. Bad guy, I was about to say.
Right. But like, who like thinks he's a bad guy or whatever. It's like,
well, like in this one too, he's finally given the chance to fuck shit up too, because he fucks up these guys. Like he bites like half of that one dude.
Right, and it's like, here's your fucking grandfather.
Yeah. Oh, is it really bad when they showed that silhouette for the first time? I thought that was his nutsack.
Oh, I did not catch that, but like,
yeah, if you look at it, he's like holding the head, but it's so dark that at first I was like, what is that? Like, and if you pause it, looks like his nuts, because there's hair coming out.
Dude, bro, come on, please.
So I was like, oh wow,
this is in prison school, all right, come on.
Tora's nuts, man. But then they do the close up, and you're like, oh, it's the grandfather.
Oh, I'm so disappointed now.
I kind of was. I really was.
Julian as his boner decreased in size.
I was about to
that
be like,
demon nuts. It's like, I love me some demon nutsack.
I know. I was about to be like, oh, this show just earned some like serious props for like doing demon nutsack silhouette, but I had to take away those props.
Yeah. See, just the tip.
Just the tip.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, I feel like if Tora was allowed to fuck things up on a regular basis, if he had done this in the first episode, I would have been like, the show rocks. But I feel like
he's only strong when it's convenient.
Just like the fucking spear, right? Like, he got knocked out, and it was like, oh, well, just because you have the spear doesn't mean you can fight well or something like that. And it's like, what? I thought it showed you how to fight. Like, I just thought that was.
I thought it communicated to him and told him what to fucking do. But then you have to tell him to spit and hit the left eye.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, more with episode 4, right? Is what we're on.
Yeah.
Oh, so again, great opportunity, right? So like Inoue, someone looks just like Inoue, could be an ancestor. That ancestor had awesome freaking psychic power abilities and like locked away these 5 crazy powerful like head demons, right? So it's like, man, maybe like Inoue can like tap into that power and then hold her own against this shit, or they start to like have these like crazy psychic powers to help out our main character, right? No, she gives fucking Tora a fucking hamburger. That's her great accomplishment. This fucking episode, right? Like,
yeah, she introduced him to.
It's like, and hamburgers taste a lot better than people, right? These hamburgers are pretty tasty.
Well, I think that shows who the true monster of this episode is. It's the girl. She knows that burgers taste better than people.
Yeah, that's true.
That's terrifying.
How does she know?
She's smiling.
Maybe she's actually smiling. A demon. And so we'll find out in 17 episodes that really we should have picked up on this one little thing. Just like with the twin spears.
She has the other spear. She's also the end boss.
Right.
Yeah, because she knows. She's like, yeah, I eat people all the time.
Yeah.
Burgers are way better.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, but I'm like tainting these burgers with people. So in order to make Tora go under her control, that's what it is. Instantly, we've made a better anime.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, wow, you just like
solved the problem. Suck it, nerds.
Yeah, and I also thought it was cool, too, how Tora recognized the heads and was like, oh, you're the blah, blah, blah family from the continent.
Oh, and I feel like that's the, and they're like, how do you know that? I assumed it was because he, like, fucked them up. But really, I think that what is implied in this episode is that Tora is just like, because they were like, how can this type of demon, whatever Tora is, like, stand against us? So I think both, like, those two references sort of means that, like, Tora is, like, the god demon of his like genealogy of demons. He's like the most powerful of his race or species or whatever.
I mean, he's got to be OP for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to know why? Because the story's generic as fuck. That's why.
Because he's got to be OP, right? I mean, I think.
But then he might like find his father or something like some like he might end up fighting like the one guy that's stronger than him or whatever. I don't know.
Well, wouldn't that be like the 3-clawed Tora?
The what?
the 3-clawed Toro that fucked up that dude's family?
Maybe that's what it is.
So like
Segue
not
into episode
really?
5.
Yeah, basically. Well,
Is there
it wasn't
anything else in
actually.
episode 4 too?
No, I mean I think my big thing. Well, actually, one disappointment too. You kind of already said this, but I also really was disappointed that there was no connection between the girl and the psychic from way back. It was just that she just looks exactly like her.
Right.
It's like,
except for has no powers and is completely useless in the story. Thanks.
And whatever happened to that poor old dude who saw all those guys get killed and then tried to help out Ushio and then he just disappeared?
Oh yeah, but that's his episode, just like the couple and one before that.
He was just like, I really hope that worked out.
Right. By the way, your temple's fucked. Anyway, moving on. Or whatever sanctuary he was trying to like protect or whatever.
And the other fun thing that I don't think I mentioned from the last episode was when I did really enjoy how Ushio's dad like very casually discovers that Toro got released and is like super shocked.
Yeah.
And he just disappears. I enjoyed that. They spent no time with that. He was just like, oh shit.
Oh, and he's like gone for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I guess he noticed. But like, I mean, and like they say that, but I really think that he's like off the train and become more whatever.
Oh, well, he'll be back dramatically.
Yeah, and then be like, really, I'm not sure. I'm really a secret trainer from the secret organization that does fuck all.
Yeah, and so that, taking us to episode 5, that scene where they did the flashback of the Exorcist, that was like the biggest, just from all the shows I've watched, from all over the years, I was like, okay, so first of all, that wasn't Tora who killed the family. And if it was Tora who did that or who was there, he didn't kill the family. It was like, it was just a case of like he saw him there. He was probably fighting another demon.
Right.
That other demon ate his family. I was like, oh yeah, I feel like I've seen that like a million times.
Oh my god! Do you know what really pisses me off about this episode? Like when I was like, oh, it's like this guy that looks in the trailer that looks like he might be really cool. Oh, this might be really interesting. And then like it opens with fucking Atsuki or I'll just say Ushio. Ushio is easier to say. Gets slashed in the face. And then grabs his spear and heals, and he just has these 4 scars on his face.
Oh yeah.
Like, and the thing is it's like he's done other battles, he's done other shit. No fucking scars marks from there. He wakes up, gets super fucked. The scars happen to be just like this other guy that's calling into town. Happened the day of, happened to be 4 marks instead of 3, and he has like these crazy scars now. And it's like it just makes me mad because I would rather him get them in an interesting way. I'd rather like him, like the guy in Vinland Saga, how he like gradually like builds scars and builds like wounds that he acquires through battle. But like instead it's like this guy's body is perfect except for this one time. It's like scars will be convenient this episode and we want him to be like a rough demon fighter guy, so let's just add him.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool if he had gotten the scars in like episode 2 or something, and they just kept it. That would have been cooler. This was like,
or in the first episode when he actually like unleashed Tora and they were fighting. Yeah, because there was something about how he has to be like holding the spear or something. And then it's like, oh, good, thank God, like these fucking healing powers. But like for scars that deep, like that's like what? No.
I also thought it was funny that it didn't hurt his eye at all.
Right. What?
It just like went right over
You're
his
not instantly
eye.
Fucking blind?
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, you should be guts right now. Like the other guy, he had something weird in his right eye.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
Like a talisman or something.
Yeah. Yeah, also, the thing that really made me go, what the fuck, when I was watching this episode was Exorcist guy. So he beats up those 2 dudes because he's like, oh, it's your bad luck because you made me hear like the cries of a child or something like that.
Right.
Well, you know what he spends most of the episode doing? Beating the shit out of a kid. That's his like big thing.
Oh yeah.
He beats the shit out of Ushio.
Yeah.
And like I was like, dude, what just happened to your whole thing about not hurting kids? Like,
Right.
what just happened?
Right.
And there's not even
an inner conflict or whatever.
Yeah, at least have this thing where it's like I really don't want to do this, but or like I got so overwhelmed by my, desire to find the kill this fucking thing that I was just I was going over my own I was treading over my own morals or whatever.
Right.
At least something like that. This dude just fucks this kid up and is like, oh yeah, I bandaged you up. See you around.
And this was when I made the note about them being seen on television. Right? And, like, that's how the guy's like, oh, that's that fucking demon on television. How come they can see him on television in that time specifically, but not all the times he's walking around with him? You know?
Yeah,
like,
especially...
That's so inconsistent.
Yeah, because also in the previous episode, he had that moment where Tora couldn't go through the windows when he was in cloaked form, but then suddenly he's like, fuck it, I don't care. And then he uncloaks, and then he breaks through the window.
Was that? I don't even remember that. But maybe that's like maybe he just like wasn't cloaked then. But like I thought that there was another scene too. And wasn't there another scene when he was like near one of the chicks and was like, well, thank God, like this person's like innocent, or else she'd be able to see me, or like or isn't exposed enough to demons, or something like that. I thought that happened, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I thought that. I think I seem to remember that too. But they never go into that, so it's like because he never. I feel like he never turned off his cloak when they fought the stone samurai.
Except for when they jumped out and anyone could see him.
Yeah, because the only time I remember him turning off his cloak was in episode 4, where he's like, I can't get through this window, so...
Fuck it!
But it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna... I was gonna say, like, why didn't he turn off his cloak when he was gonna eat that kid? I was like, okay. But...
Yeah, and then, like, so... Hyo looks like a potential badass character, but then like he just seemed ultimately just uninteresting as fuck to me.
Well, yeah, because okay, so he has a really sappy story, but the guy's dumb as shit. I mean, he went after this. I don't know. I just feel like he didn't really.
Yeah.
It just was rather unexciting, which was unfortunate because I saw him in the opening.
Right, and I was like, oh, I really want to be excited about when these hardened characters are introduced because like it might be really interesting. But then episode 5 happened, they introduced a hardened character. The character was a dumb bitch, and I was just instantly disappointed.
Well, I think I definitely remember your favorite scene from this episode. I remember now, especially, I'm thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I can definitely tell what Thaddeus' favorite scene is going to be.
I don't even know.
So, your favorite scene was the very last scene of episode 5, where Tora has been trying to eat Ushio for 5 episodes, and he finally gets the drop on Ushio because he's so beaten senseless by the exorcist dude that he's just snoring away because he's recovering. Right. Tora's about to eat him, and then is like, No, I'm good this time.
And burgers are pretty tasty. Did you say that? Was that when he said burgers are tasty?
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. So I think I just remember burgers are tasty, and then I feel rage. So I think I just sort of like blocked it out in my mind, but like.
So did I call that? Was that your favorite scene?
I mean, I didn't write it down as a note, but like I just remember burgers are tasty, and I feel mad. So like I think that's yeah.
What a great capstone. Because I actually think when I first saw that, especially when that was the last scene of episode 5, I was like, oh, God, that just dropped the whole rating of this show like 3 or 4 points.
Right. Yeah. Oh, but he helped me out. Oh, but I'm really an asshole.
Yeah, but I'm actually nice. So I guess that brings us to the rating. Actually, what would you out of 10? What would you give this?
Like a 3. I mean, I want to go like average, but like I honestly haven't seen it like something that's sort of this level of man, like I mean, I understand like the classics and stuff like that, but it's like it just isn't my cup of tea. There isn't anything that's challenging or interesting about it to me. I mean, I respect it. Like, like the Beatles, I understand are classics. I understand they really did a lot for the music industry and stuff like that. I don't like their fucking music that much, and I feel like this is sort of the same thing. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really passionate about it, that really like it, and really upset. I just don't get it, or I'm too dumb, too Western, whatever. But yeah, it's just like there's no part of me right now that's really interested in watching any more of this anime.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if people that I really respect their opinion watch more of it and then recommend it, like with Hunter x Hunter, I was told that it was like really, really good, and I didn't like really, really like it until like everything was sort of tolerable until like I think it was the 3rd season, which was the ant or insect arc or whatever, and then I like loved it, but like unless something like that happens, I'm probably not gonna. There's too many other more interesting things.
Yeah. I'm going to give this like a 6.7. Just because I'm going in with the benefit of the doubt that it is the classic that I'm reading that it is. I really enjoyed like the creatures. I like the atmosphere. I'm a sucker for like ancient demons and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed Tora because I thought he has possibility to be really interesting. So far, he's all over the place in the first 5 episodes, like fucking all over the place. There's just no consistency with him. There could be something really interesting going on. I don't know if there is, but I mean, I liked it enough to watch more, and I think I'm very interested in seeing what the finale, what the last arc, or second half of the series is like. So I think I'll tune in for that.
Well, let me know like if there's anything that I watched Triage X, and let me tell you, like I dodged a bullet on that one. So.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, really, the reason why it gets a 6.5 or 6.7 for me is I love the animation. I love the Hunter x Hunter team. I think it's really well directed, especially for like a new show getting that feel of like a classic anime. It just totally captures that. I just really like the production a ton. But again, that was one reason I really loved Kill la Kill, which is it had that 90s, early anime feel to it. And how it was shot and how the scenes were done and stuff. So I'm kind of a sucker for that. That doesn't really mean that that's going to be good. That's a good thing. But yeah, so I'll watch the rest of it and let you know how it goes.
All right, sounds good. Do you remember what anime was recommended?
I'm gonna have to look.
Okay, surprise anime again.
Yeah, next week could be a surprise.
Eventually we'll nail these or get them before we.
Maybe.
Actually, just live life on the edge. We don't need to tell you our business. You don't need to know where I live. You don't need to like tell me what to do, even though I'd like you to. But yeah,
we live. It's the spur of the moment.
Exactly.
Just.
All right. Well.
All right.
Thank you very much for tuning in to Two-Dimensional Champions. We'll have more content out next week, or sooner. What up?
Sooner?
Maybe. Or not.
Maybe. Oh, yep.
Well, we do what we want.
Well, not like tomorrow, but like
You're right.
A few days.
We're not doing the summertime blitz again.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or would like to recommend a show, email us at twodimensionalchampions@gmail.com.
All right.
All right. Catch you all next time.
Later.